welcome to O2 Inside Line Live. We are here pitchside at Twickenham, where England have just lost to Argentina, just the 1 point in it. I'm Eleanor Roper, and alongside me is England's Bryony Cleal. What do you make of that, Bryony?
Yeah, it was a bit of a nervy kind of first Autumn Nations Series game, and I think, look, Argentina, I heard people talking about it could be a shock, but I actually don't think we could use the word shock given what they did in the summer, beating Australia and New Zealand. So I think we fully expect them to be that good, but actually we were hoping that England would just be a little bit better, which they weren't today.
Yeah, like you say, I don't think anyone was underestimating Argentina, but did we expect to see England tested to this level?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I thought we were going to have an advantage at the set piece, and we did do to start with, and then I think it started creaking near the end of the game, and in the end it was just the penalties that both teams were giving away that was making the scoreboard tick over, and eventually it played its toll with England giving away too many penalties that led to all the kicked points.
Also, I'm sure the weather playing a massive part in this. You and I got absolutely soaked before kickoff, but really wet conditions here at Twickenham today.
Yeah, I'm thankful we don't have to have an umbrella right now, but before game it was absolutely lashing it down. And I think that did play a part, especially early on with the hands, and I think Billy got stripped up quite early on, and I think it just made it a bit more difficult to play with, but actually I think England should have done better in certain aspects. But look, it's the first game of the Autumn Nations Series. They haven't played for so long, whereas Argentina have. So what can you take from it? And you know what? The best thing, we've got 12 months till the big tournament.
You mentioned the word discipline earlier, but it got pretty tasty at times, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It's always going to. We've got such powerful players, and we always say that a few of them have got hot heads, and they front up. Even Farrell says he plays such an aggressive game, but that's what they do so well, and like I would rather have Ellis Genge on my team than against me.
I know, we saw him as vice captain today, but that did not seem to stop him, did it?
No, he was, but that's Ellis Genge, isn't it? That's how abrasive and confrontational and up front he is, not only in the scrum but just around the pitch. So look, if I'm giving him vice captain, I know what that comes with, and I'm happy for him to take that leadership role, because I trust him to kind of curb that. And look, he didn't boil over, he just gave it the right amount of feistiness.
Yeah, you're right. We did see two England tries. So first half, Joe Thockner-Singer. Second half, Jack van Portfleet comes off the bench. We're going to show that try now. Tell us, what did you make? What kind of impact do you think he had? I mean, that's what Eddie's looking for, isn't it, with his second choice 9, to come on and kind of spark things up a bit? Yeah,
I think he talks about the first 9 having that game management, but this second 9, he wants that dynamic 9, that quick 9. He's going to play the ball quickly, and you see him turn up to the ruck and he just has a quick look, he spots the gap and he's gone. Like, it wasn't a second thought, he didn't have to go, oh, what's the gap, like, what am I doing here? His kind of initiative was to take the gap, and he's quick, you know, he's that classic, that nippy quick 9 that's going to spot gaps like that and go for it, whereas we see Ben Youngs is very much game management with his boot, and actually we saw him do a little box kick over the top to Marcus Smith, which was really initiative from him. But that's what you get from JVP when he comes on. He's quick and he's going to take spaces like that and want to run at teams.
He's definitely injecting some pace into the game. Who else impressed you today, Bryony?
I think Joe Thockner-Singer, I think on the wing. I think we've had him play loads for England before, but never really put his mark on a game, and today you saw the power of him. You can
see his try now as you chat about him.
Yeah, like, he didn't deserve to go over that try line in the sense that he had 2 people on him, but the power of him and the upper body strength from him, just to twist in the tackle and score is what he kind of deserved from today's game. I think when he got his hands on the ball, he was awesome today.
We know he's fast, but I think one of the things that Eddie Jones wanted to see more of from him was that strength. There's that kind of ball carrying ability. I feel like we definitely saw more of that today. Yeah,
I feel like you got Johnny May, who's an absolute electric, he's lightning, and you got Jack now, who's kind of a mixture of the both, and then when you got Joe, he's pure power, and they look to use him in midfield. Obviously they got Tuilagi back and they look to use him as well, but when you've got that weapon on your wing, when you can put him into space, which England did a few times, you saw how destructive he can be as a ball carrier.
Now, you've obviously got international test experience. What do you think the message is going to be in the dressing room now? Because yeah, it is a loss, but it's not a bad defeat, you know, it's close. What is it they're going to take from this and be looking ahead to Japan next weekend?
This series of games, we've said, is like a mini tournament in itself, and that's what it is. If you lose the first game, you can't then kind of put your heads down and drop your heads, and you've got to go again. And look, I think they will be saying that we're 12 months out from France. We don't matter losing today. Like, what more? Like, what does it matter? Whereas they don't want.
That's not what I thought you were going to say, by the way.
Whereas in 12 months it would matter. So, you know, they're not going to beat themselves up too much about it. And there were some good bits, but look, it's all about learning in international games. And when you've got the likes of Alex Coles making his debut, it's learning for him. When you've got Ellis Genge being vice captain for the first time ever, it's learning, and that's what the boys will want to take away from this game.
What do you think the learns are as we look ahead to Japan next weekend?
The discipline being one.
Okay.
I think definitely the discipline. And just trying to, well, quite early on, it was that nervy start. Can we keep the ball a bit longer? I think right at the end there, we had a minute to go and we were playing some of the best rugby they'd done and the phases they'd done. And it's can you do that earlier in the game and not lose the continuity which they did at points.
So let's not wait till the second half, basically,
Yeah,
against
basically.
Japan to play that kind of game.
Yeah, and Japan are going to be good. Again, all these international teams, they're all rising to occasions and they're putting in some really good performances. Like England can't think they're going to go into these games, they're going to be easy because they're not. But like the bench, I thought JVP especially was awesome off the bench. So let's see, so maybe he'll mix it up and we'll see some of them start.
Anyone who you'd like to see starting next week that we've not seen? I know you're a big fan of Jack Willis.
I was a bit unsure of his 6 minutes. I wanted him to have a bit longer. It's tough when you come off the bench. You want to be able to put your game on, your stamp on the game as such.
Yeah.
And it's tough when you only get the 6 minutes. And I think he's someone who could be awesome around your breakdown. The threat around the breakdown, we didn't see much of it today. Tom Curry, we didn't see him get over the top of the ball, but maybe Jack Willis would have, but who knows. But yeah, I'm putting in my team next week, JVP. And also, I can't say the names.
Jack Van Portfleet, so you just say JVP. I always think in this job, say it quickly, just say it quickly, and like you mean it, someone once told me. Disappointing for Eddie because he was going up against his old rival Michael Checker today. I'm sure that's going to hurt a little bit.
Yeah, well, England got the better of them in the Australia in the last World Cup, so I guess they can be going pound for pound at the moment. But of course, I think that they're two kind of, I talked about it earlier, I don't know if I can call them, but spicy characters as such. Like, them two love to talk the talk, and actually Michael Checker's teams today has walked the walk a bit, hasn't he? So he'll be very happy, I think, getting one over there.
We've talked about looking forward. We've mentioned Japan. We've also got New Zealand, South Africa, huge opponents. What do you think they'll be making of this England side that they've seen today?
The Southern Hemisphere teams play such a brand of rugby that's something a bit different from up here, so they'll just be wanting to come here and front up with this England team. Like I've talked about the power that they have in the team, that's probably a scary prospect for quite a lot of teams when you look at that front row and you look at Tuilagi in the centres, Fock and a Singer on the wing. They're all powerful players. And it's if we can get the likes of Farrell and Marcus Smith pulling the strings and putting that little bit of sparkle dust on it, because they can really turn a game. So I think they'll be wary of when England's set piece can start working and when they can get that power game working and make that front foot ball that will give the likes of Marcus Smith the game that he wants to play. So that's what they'll be wary of.
I know you were very excited to see Manu Tuilagi back on the pitch. We know it's something that the fans really wanted to see. What did you make of his outing today?
Yeah, look, I think we all joke about it, don't we? Him lasting longer than he did last time, and the physios are probably sat there hoping he does, which obviously we do because we know the issues he's got. But he's been managed really well, and today he looked the player he's always looked like. When he carries, he's so abrasive, and when I think he hit someone in during that game, and I was like, oh, it kind of hurt me. So he's such a powerful player, and I saw in the week Jack Nell say that he thought he was the world's best player, and I was like not questioning it, but thinking, I really want to see this, because if you're saying it, like you don't take things like that, you don't say them lightly. So if you're saying it, I want to see it, and I think if he can get a run of games together, I think we will see it from him. He is a player that can do that.
I feel like we're going to wrap this up just as the rain has started again. Thank you for your insight, Bryony. We are going to come back. We are going to be hearing from the players. They've just been inside having their team talk with Eddie Jones. So we'll be back here pitchside and hearing from the players in a few minutes' time.